That's what she said.
Well,
Wow, and I'm not allowed to say the word penis because it makes you chuckle.
Oh, that's a cock-up.
Wow.
what a way to start the stream. That was the first thing it said.
Welcome to my
That
streams.
was not the first time. And it probably won't be the last.
You're right there, guys. Oh, I need to put this tweet out.
I reckon you ought to let me paint that black trappy Gramps white.
Bucket of bleach.
No.
More than a bucket of bleach. You're right, guys, so welcome to the stream. The man in question hasn't shown up just yet, but he will be here soon. Providing that he's remembered the time difference.
Yeah, but it's 8 PM there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Discuss
I
it
will,
today.
I'm out of the game now. Hi, Scrap.
Hello.
Hey, Scrappy.
So I'm afraid you're going to have to put up with me doing some boring fishing to stay out with.
I blame True Light with his white crappies.
Wait, are we live? Am I on TV? Hi, Mom.
Cheers, Therese. Yes.
Yes. Hello, True Light.
Thank you, Therese, for the host.
Call in sick.
Nah, I got 2 days off, 3 days off now.
Ooh, that's a lot of
Okay.
Hearthstones.
Hello, Hirsch. Hello, Redneck.
Howdy, boys.
Gotta mute
Oh,
the
yeah.
stream. I can't
Well-
hear everything twice.
Yeah, True Light's so sick that he can't actually attend work. Happily
Yeah,
attend team
very,
speak.
very sick.
Too much turkey last week?
Yeah, food coming.
No, it's too much shit that he's been putting onto these fucking competitions of his that make no sense. Crap.
Didn't you have a message for him?
Oh, I've got lots of messages for True Light right now.
Anyway, I will be back. I'm going to go get a beer and a smoke, and then I will join the stream.
Okie doke. Hopefully he will. What we'll do is we'll give it about 15 minutes and then I'll send him a light reminder. What's happening, Cogsy? Happening, KW? Thank you for the follow, Therese. AV note.
It happens, man.
There we go. Speak of the devil and he shall appear.
Now ask for like $20 million.
$20 million, $20 million, $20 million. No, it's not happening. Hey there, Killer. How you doing?
Hi guys.
Hey, Killer.
Hello, Killer.
Hello, Killer.
Hola.
Howdy.
Howdy, Killer.
Yeah, where I can see your stream, guys?
Can somebody give it to him? Because
Yeah, I probably I opened the
Dang, you faster than I am. Mold is slow.
where. Yeah, Twitch. Yeah, correct.
I was going to say, I bet Puppy's already done it. Oh no. Okay. So there's a link. Right, there we go.
Cool.
Okay, are you alright if I just put you in another room so that we don't get talked over by this bunch of bellends? And then we'll start.
Sure. I'm just trying to reassign hotkeys. Okay.
That's fine. Alright, so everybody say bye and be polite.
Bye.
Bye, Killer.
Be polite.
Bye.
You have to treat them like children, because otherwise they'll eat the crayons. Okay, so I've just put us in a separate room so that, because they're going to want a chinwag.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm here. So you can ask questions, and I can answer on some questions you already have, or some people will ask about. I'm seeing your translation, so I've seen your Twitch, and it's okay.
Okay, so I've sent you some of the questions already to give you a chance to have a quick look over them. If anybody's got any questions that they want to ask in the chat, feel free. We probably won't be answering all of them, and we'll just pick some that Killer's happy to answer. You're right with me referring to you as Killer? Or would you prefer KillerWhale?
Oh, it's okay. So, is my microphone volume is okay?
Yeah, it's fine for me.
1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 1. Okay.
Okay, so I've got a couple of questions about the PS4 I want to get out of the way. We don't play on the PS4, most of us are on the PC, but I do have some viewers that come stop by. So I went through the forums quickly and just picked up a few of the questions from there. The first one's from MG Rooster.
Yep.
Is whether the PC will be getting an increase to reaction time on strikes and a more responsive depth indicator. He said that basically it seems that PC version is a little bit longer reaction time, like 1.5 seconds to a second for the others.
Personally, I don't expect the PS4 in reaction time is bad in comparison with PC, but the next update will be on PS4 on December 5, so 5th. So like it will be in 5 days probably. Yeah. So in 5 days you will probably see another type of reaction and much more changes in game mechanics, because top water and night fishing and poppers and walkers tackles will be introduced on PlayStation 4. So you will check, guys, and think about this stuff.
Cool. Another one from Valhalla is, will PS4 users get a chance to toggle the UI or HUD elements?
No.
So
Probably.
just something that's just for PC.
Probably we already tried to done it. I need to check like some special combination, like pressing 2 or 3 buttons, we move HUD, but I need to check. So
Okay, so we'll get back to that one maybe in a few days. I can have an answer for people and put it out.
But definitely we will do it. So in the next update or Christmas update, which will come just after the next update, after the water update. Probably we will insert this one.
Okay. He also asked about an increase in the sensitivity of controllers to like 150, 200%. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but...
It's a good question. We will try to do it. So it's just basically we don't have any requests for doing it, but now we can do it. So it's basically very fast and very easy stuff to do.
Okay, and the last one from the PS4 users that I found was, will PS4 users be getting the events, like comps and tournaments?
Yeah,
and
sure.
is there any idea of when they'll be put in?
Next tournament will be Christmas Giants, and it will be on Steam and on PS4. So the event will start at December 18, as far as I remember. So the next event on PS4 will be Christmas Giants at December 18. So prepare, guys, and be ready.
Do we get an idea of what the fish might be in the Christmas Giants?
I need to check the event description, but I don't remember exactly, but I can check a bit later. So
Yeah,
Christmas Giants will be also on Steam, so you will see announcement very soon.
Good.
Hello, KillerWhale.
Hi, Hilrand. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
He has to come and interrupt, like a child.
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. So, we have a lot of questions to answer.
Yeah. So another question that I've seen that's been asked on sort of both platforms is, will people be able to get a photo trophy mode system?
Oh yeah, sure. In 2 weeks, probably we are doing it now, and we're almost done. So I think in 2 weeks we will complete it, and probably but it will be released a bit later after Christmas, probably, because we don't want to break the fun, because this feature is a bit like we need to polish it a bit. So
Okay,
it
so
will
it'll be
go
in beta testing in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think in closed beta in a couple of weeks you'll have a photo mode. Then you can make a photo with your fish in different. You can move camera. You can see yourself with holding the fish with the outfit. Typical stuff. So
Cool. I did see that somebody had asked, will there be a release for the Xbox?
yes, sure. I think in 3 months we will release it on Xbox. We're just waiting for Xbox One X SDK to be finally polished and finalized, because it's not so easy to do it now, and we don't want we want actually to do it on Xbox One and on Xbox One X. So it will be like 2 versions. Like for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro, they have 2 versions actually, and it will be the same for Xbox One and Xbox One X. I think in 3 months, if it will be fast and Microsoft will not interfere with us in bad way. So
Cool.
these guys are very slow.
Another thing that was asked is cross-platform, i.e. will PS4 users be able to play with PC users, PS4 with Xbox users, Xbox with PC, so on and so forth?
No chance, because Microsoft and Sony don't want the cross-platform crossplay. So they do it for Fortnite of Epic, but it's probably like good example of exemption. So PlayStation actually don't want the player base to interfere with PC, and Microsoft. Microsoft Xbox release will the players can play with Windows 10 Store release. So we're planning to release the game in Windows 10 Store too. So it will be a cross-platform between Windows 10 players and Microsoft Xbox players. But this is actually the only one stuff we actually allow. So no, because the platform holders don't want you to do it.
Okay, so that's not yourselves, that's Sony being dicks. In
Yeah,
a polite
yeah.
manner. Okay. Right, now to the main juicy questions for PC. I know that Gramps has got a question for you, so do you want to ask yours, Gramps?
I will. Well, since I run the Pro Hookers, I'm very curious about the club system and what the functions will be in that system.
How we are thinking about the clubs. The clubs actually must be it will like a lot of players which will be invited in clubs and they are forming the club. So will be a club owner who actually created the clubs and manages clubs. What will be inside the club? We want to a player have two type of teams for tournaments and individual players. So if you're owning the clubs, you can hire players and you can hire teams. For what's the purpose? We want to have two types of tournaments, like non-professional tournaments, amateurs, like for friends and non-professional teams, and professional tournaments, which will be also created by club owners. And club owners can create event like a tournament for club manager team. So and actually player can be can hold membership for two type of teams, like basically for two teams, the professional team and friends team. So if he want to play with friends team by team, it's non-professional, it's okay. If he want to play with professional team must be owned by club, so club system. And some for club tournaments for individual players or teams, it's you need to be invited or need to be member of the club. So this is basically the idea. So the club owner or we as owner of the game can create tournaments and can invite other clubs to join, to share, and making the events like it will be like some sort of like real, very close to real type competition, but more with the cyber sports details. So this is a basic idea. Some sort of addition. Club owner and club can have club store. So the club inventory, the club funds, and all the stuff for training club members and club players to let them more easily train, move, and all this stuff. So, and you can assign some club inventory to some players or some teams, and managing all this system.
Excellent, thank you.
I've got just a quick question on the clubs. Is there going to be an amount of people, like a limit? So are we only allowed like 100 players for a club, or?
No. They are basically want to limit probably the amount of team members, because it's basically the tournaments or some events will be based by either by team or individual player by individual player. So yeah. But it's basically you can have a different amount of player in different type of teams, because teams it will be not like something solid. You will create team for some type of tournament. So you just asking players to join your team, and team will go to a tournament or will go to some type of activity. But team will be semi-permanent stuff, but not so rigid. I mean.
Okay, so there's not going to be a sort of limit on a club amount of players.
No.
That's the main thing. As long as we're not going to get.
Now, will we also, another question, will we also be able to, with the clubs, kind of do a tournament like we're doing now in the new forums that True Light set up?
You can create your own tournaments, and we can give you a lot of tools to create your own score system and all this stuff. So for your tournament to be more interesting and not more rigid like it now. So you will set up your own activity, and you can grab all the tools to manage and make a judgment and the score for this stuff.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, I've just seen that somebody's asking if we're going to allow if rod rests are going to be introduced to use multiple rods at once.
But multiple rods and setups, it's more closer to bottom fishing. So this bottom fishing, you have multiple rods and setup. Probably we will try to introduce it a bit earlier, just before bottom fishing.
Okay. Random question. So I've shown some of the guys in the chat that have been viewers of mine for a while the images that you sent to me last week. And people are interested to know if sonars are going to be introduced on the Zodiacs, or is it just going to be on the bass boats? Or...
No, sonars will be introduced on RIP and tractor boards. So Zodiac means RIP and tractor boards, which we will have actually three types of motor boards: Zodiacs, tracker, aluminium, and bass boats. All of them will hold the sonars. So we are thinking to add sonars to a kayak, but I don't think it's a good stuff actually, because kayaks are simple and solid. So we don't want to, for now, we don't want to make it more complex and more. Not more complex to handle. So we are thinking to add sonars to all type of boards, and it will be a different type of sonars. So you can buy like basic sonars to see only the depths and only the bottom, more advanced to see bottom structures and some fish, but simple, and more advanced to see a lot of fish and more bottom structure and basically more details and resolution and all this stuff.
Okay, is it something that later on possibly we could look at maybe getting some customizable, we could buy a kayak and customize it in different ways possibly, lot further down the line? But...
Basically, we think to do it with the motor boards actually, because we want to keep the kayaks simple. But if you will see a huge demand from our players to customize the kayak, so we also can do the kayaks customizable. But I don't think a lot of point to do it, because on motor boards, like engine, sonars, lamp, light, flare. And a lot of different stuff for bass boards, or even for trackers and Zodiacs. It means live well or freezer. On you can put some additional holders for more equipment, like trolling slots and all this stuff. So but for kayaks, I think maybe, but. Our point is to create boards for bigger lakes, like asking for a lake fork. Yeah, we are working on it, but our biggest problem is to create realistic bites and realistic fish behavior on huge lakes. So it can't be done by hand. So we are doing a great system to create it close to real life, and to give you guys an option to explore a huge waterway. So that's basically this is the stuff we are working on it now.
Cool. And just one last question about boats. Will the motorboats be able to hold more than one player? Will I be able to take out people or no?
Yeah, but this option are basically for we are thinking about for bass boards, not for trackers and Zodiac. But maybe later we will add it to the tracker and Zodiacs.
Any ideas on how many players per boat?
Only two.
Only two.
Yeah, for now only two, because it's mostly for fishing tournaments. You have 2 players, so we are basically want to do it the same and making the tournaments also the same. like these 2 players.
Okay. Another question I've seen asked, has been asked to me a few times is, at some point will we be able to create our own rigs, i.e. Texas rigs, Carolina rigs, drop shots, wacky rigs, finesse rigs, stuff like that? Or is that something that maybe could be put into a Steam Workshop base? Or...
What we are thinking to do now, we will do a bottom fishing, which will be change our tackle and our tackle communications. Our tackle system. So we are planning to do it with a bottom fishing. Insert more option to create your own rigs, but it will be advanced. While you can create chum for bottom fishing, and you can also create your own rigs. It will be a bit enhanced, but not as much as possible. I think workbench and workshop will be available just after the bottom fishing and motorboards, like in time of clubs and all this stuff.
What are we likely to see in the, or what abilities will we have with the work? Any ideas?
Ability for workshop is to create your own lures, mostly fly fishing, mostly, and to customize and set up. Tuning down your rods and and repair your gear. So you can just basically disassemble it, repair it, customize it, tune it, and put it down. All this stuff. So they're thinking to do it more like if you've seen Last of Us stuff. I think doing something very close to this stuff, but
Okay.
more details and more fishing-like.
That's great. Is VR something that you're going to look at for the game?
Again, please?
Is virtual reality something you're going to be looking at to put in the game?
Yeah, they are thinking about it because now you have a really decent Odyssey Samsung HMD, so it's probably the resolution is probably twice in comparison with Steam and Oculus. But it's only just we just got it, and Steam just fixed all his VR SDK. So we will think about, we will check what we can do, because now the VR now in States it's not like it's no research and development now. It's much more solid. So if we'll have some time, we will put it and we will continue our VR range. Yes.
Good. I've just seen somebody ask about sorry.
So sorry. Yeah, one question. Just grab one question from the Twitch threads, because people just writing questions. So we need to answer on that too. It's okay?
Yeah.
So what's your question? Wait. Can you search? Tennessee River chains, paddlefish, all records. Yeah, we will do mostly Europe. We are doing Europe fish and Europe lakes now. Good question, could we have possible option to edit appearance of overlays? Yeah, edit appearance of overlays, we are thinking about it, and we will probably add the customization of HUD more, but we need to finish the HUD first. So we are changing the HUD now. I can just make it small coverage because we are doing new map system. What means map? Maps means you will have map inside in the world space, in game space. You will have a device with a map. There you can put pins for your fish. You can check, you can see location of your buddies and other players. You can see a depth maps finally, but you need to open it like in Fog of War. So we are just thinking how we do it. You can zoom it, you can see in details the depth maps, you can check, you can see a point of interest, and you can put your own marks for fish you just catch. So easily, just click some two buttons and you have your marks. And we are thinking to create new map, and you can share these pins with your friends. So it basically means you can show your friends where you catch some fish, or you can do your own guides and all this stuff. I think you'll have a huge benefit from this system. But after we will fix it, and after we will finish it, we will add more HUD customization option, because we're changing HUD to be more advanced advanced with such map system, and I think map system will be ready like in 1.5 months. So it's basically we are playing with it. So in CBT like in 1 month.
Just a quick question
Yeah.
on the EU waterways.
Yep.
So it's sort of a long-winded question, but incorporates a few. Do we know sort of roughly which quarter next year, or we're going to be getting their waterways? Do we have any ideas of some of the species maybe that we'll get? And is there going to be any that people may know of?
We have 40 fish species for European lakes. They are mostly done. Only 2 fish left to create. So, and we are thinking about the 7 European waterways. One of them are done. Is done. It's UK carp fishing place. It holds like 5 lakes and 1 river smaller. We are doing now more. So, but good question about done. So for release with waterways, we need to finish the bottom fishing system and chums, and always changing all bite system and changing mostly all bites. You already know in the game, people complaining about it's very after you find out how to catch the fish. It's all like clocks, so it's basically easy to figure out what and there. So we are changing all this stuff. Also, we are doing the chum mechanics. So if you put the chum in water, it will increase the bites for some time, but it's also have different fractions. So the current will affect the chum more. Like for different fractions, you have different behavior of the chums during the current and all this stuff. And we are planning to finish it, I think, in 5 months at least. So we're doing it, but I think CBT will be much more early. So you guys who want to, you help us to polish all this stuff.
That's great, thank you. One question that I got asked as well is, will we be able to buy baits in bulk?
Baits? Yep, sure.
For instance, Shiners buys 400 of them instead of 5.
Yeah, we are changing the shop HUD and shop. We have a plan to change the shop, completely change, because now it's not so good to see you have 5 types of some rods, or 3 types of rods, 3 types of the same reel, like 250, 350, and all this stuff. So we need to change it to be it more basically to be it more user friendly, more simple, and we'll add the quantity of lures and tackles and all this stuff to shop, and you'll easily to navigate and easily to buy. So we are doing all this stuff now, and we will, I think, but it's take probably like 2 months to complete if it will be fast. But it's have a priority because quality of game and quality of service, and for controllers also on PS4 and for Xbox, it's a huge task because it's not so easy now to navigate for controllers. Also update on December 5 will hold some enhancement for user interface. I mean, it will be much more easier to navigate in the store in the map, because it will change a bit, and it's not so huge, but probably you'll like the increase of usability for interface. And for mostly for shop too, because now in PS4 you can use a left stick to navigate a menu on shop. It will be much more easier in comparison with using R2 or L2.
Okay, that sounds great. Now we know that there is presets coming out, or set loadouts for rods and reels and stuff. Could you give us a bit more information on that? I know that we had spoken the initial was going to be sort of 2 to 3 setups. But is that going to be sort of per person? Are we going to be able to do a setup per lake, per bag? Do you know how that's going to work?
How it will be work. So you can create setup for your current rod configuration. So one setup per one rod, and you can what you can do actually, you can set up your tackle and save this setup as a template or preset. And if you're coming somewhere like, for example, you have presets for big muskie, and you can call it big muskie. And you go in somewhere, you go into home or global map, you can just go to your inventory on free slots. You can just press on your setup, and if you have all items in your home storage or your backpack, you will just be easily configure it and put it on your slot you currently selected. So, and you can save if you configure any of your setup, you will have it saved and stored. And you will have some free slots for it. I think 5 to 7 slots, but also this is a string attached. You need to buy additional slots, or if you buy the DLC, additional slots will be already configured, and you will give it for not only for free with the buying of DLC, but in DLC you will have already configured and set it up slots for different lakes with different names. So you don't need, it's like a no-brainer to create all your setup for different lake and what it is you. Also, I think we will have for some price, I mean, presetted setups, so you can buy in store if you don't know how to catch the some sort of fish. You can go and buy some snook setup or some special setup for you want to do. I mean, you can buy configuration for credits which are already will be in store, maybe. So it's just an ideas. So it will be simple setup for one inventory slot. You can just save it, or you can just load it out.
And when will we be expecting that? Do you know?
We are working on it just now, so you can expect it in 1 month, or in CBT. I mean, it's like in 3 weeks, or for like 3 weeks, yeah, on CBT. But I think it's quite big stuff. Maybe for full realization, I mean, 1.5 months.
Okay, that's great. Somebody had asked if about poles. I'd just seen in the chat. Are we going to be able to pole fish?
Pole
fishing. So a pole fish is a rod but no reel, and then you just have the line on the end, and it goes into the water. It's something that we do in England.
You mean without reel? Just
yeah, it's just a long pole like a cane and a bit of line on the end with a float.
We have the same stuff with bamboo rods, so just bamboo rods and the line ends. That's all. I don't think we will do it, but maybe we'll do it with an introduction of bottom fishing, but not early, because we need to change all the system for this stuff, and we will change system while we are doing bottom fishing. We're already doing it actually, but not so deep for now. But we will do it more deeply in 3-5 months.
Cool. You've given us an update on Lake Fork. Somebody asked if we were going to be able to, in their words, snapshot fish or vertical fishing with jigs for fish when we get the sonars, when they become a bit more advanced, if we'll be able to like vertical jig for a fish on its face and then watch it sort of go for it on the sonar.
Showing the exact fish on sonar is a bad idea, probably. We can just show a school of fish on sonar, or some just fish you see in sonar. It's just an idea. You have the fish here, but it's not the exact fish position and not the exact fish, because it will spoil all the fun probably. But it's arguable. We can do it more discussion later, but I think it will spoil all the fun. So, and vertical jig, yeah, you can do it now, and probably you can do it now on kayak. I don't think it's not possible now, but you can do it probably. And I don't see any restriction which don't want to do it now. Jigs, maybe physics. Yeah, I will check the physics for this stuff, and I will let you know later.
Yep, that's fine. Somebody has also asked if we were gonna, with these UI and HUD element updates that we're getting to make it easier for a user, are we gonna get a sorting option at all for our inventory? And will the leaderboards and the personal records be a little bit more easier to understand? Can we get it sorted by lake, by species, maybe?
Oh yeah, this is a good question for us, because it's a huge amount of species in case we can do it on per species. So I think we need to redone the filters, and we are thinking about it, but we don't have a good UI solution for it. So we need to hunt more. If you guys have any solution for user interface, how to do it simple, and also to do it on the consoles, it will be much appreciated. So we are thinking about it from day one. Yeah.
I say we've got suggestions. Put them in the suggestions topic on the forums.
Yeah.
It'll get checked out. Okay.
Sorting option for inventory. Yeah, sorting option for inventory already planned. So multi-event parameters events. So now next work on events will be we just delayed competition for kayaks, because we want to finally do a good matchmaking system for events, because now events it's kind of amateurs and normal, and all this stuff is boring. So what we want to do is do a score-based matchmaking. So you have competition score, your own tournament score, I mean, and the system will match you with players with the same score. So if you win, your score will increase. You will be matched with more experienced opponents. If you lose, your score will decrease, and you will go to less experienced opponents. So you always have the matchmaking will work the way you always have the players which match you in terms of experience and score. I think it will be much more will have much more fun in comparison you have now, because now the amateurs competition will grab some times, and you can't enter. They actually current system have a lot of flaws, so we're trying to remove all these flaws and give you already polished and already like more polished and more solid approach on this stuff.
Nice. Another thing about waterways, I saw on the forum somebody had been asking if we were going to get an Amazon River waterway.
Nope. Our next goal to actually what we are doing now, it's Everglades, new bigger Everglades and Lake Fork, because all hold us from it, because it's the size and the bite system for recreation of complete recreation of fish behavior on big lakes. So what we are doing now, we are doing the big lake mechanic to give you opportunity to grab the motorboats and going to explore big lake. I mean, really explore, because now it's very simple, like not so big, so you can explore all depths and all fish very easily, and we will give you opportunity to real exploration by motorboats, sonar, bigger lake, and a lot of stuff. So what's we and actual changing the fish AI and fish behavior to make it less predictable, but if you're doing in real life, you know what to do, you'll know what to do in game. So the idea is to give you rules using these rules, you can win the tournaments, you can know what to do, and you can always have some prediction of where and what to catch. But the prediction must be very complex to give you an idea how to master it, and you need to spend the time to polish all your knowledge about where the fish is and which weather is which tackle, how it's changed, what's to do. If it's not here, there it can do it, and all this stuff. So we are basically changing the game plan in terms of keep you guys happy to find out the big fish and to have a knowledge. And this knowledge can't be spoiled by YouTube because it will be a lot of stuff you need to master to find out what to do and to win the tournaments.
So it's not going to be as easy as go here, fish there with this bait. It's going to be a lot more complicated and advanced.
I am now even testing the erosion. So we have testing the bigger lakes and river parts with even eroded. So we are thinking about making the bottom changing tags, and the bottom will change and the fish will be migrate. So it's like not so like in real life. So it will be a changing of depths, changing the location of holes, and all this stuff. So.
Okay. There's a long question from True Light, as there always is. Is there any plans to not have higher level gear wear out as fast, whether you're fishing in Alaska or Texas? Is penalising you for bringing your gear you've levelled into to a lower level lake? You have to reduce gear level fish there. It's a long question that makes no sense to me, if I'm honest. I think what he's saying is that if you take high-level gear to a low-leveled lake, is there any way of penalising people so that it takes more durability? So that you have to sort of force people to use lighter gear at smaller lakes to sort of make it more fine.
I see actually two questions in one question. So high-level gear on low-level lakes are veering too fast. In our game, gear mostly wearing, it's two type of wear. I mean, it's you can break your gear if you are catching the fish in red zone. I mean, it's starting to get damage more faster, and over red zone it's even much more faster. And second type of gear, like tackle boxes, lures, and all your jackets, it's have -1 durability per one game day. So it's quite easily to calculate because it's always the same, and it means just wear and tear for all your equipment. You're just using it in your travel. So for this kind of high-level gear like jackets, tackle box, and all this stuff, it's always the same on all lakes and all type of weather and all this stuff. It's the same. For high-level gear, I mean basic gear, the wear and tear for high-level gear like rods, reels, and all this stuff calculated because of fish damage or level of damage. So it's not tied up to high lake or low lake. About penalizing the fish for high-level gear, it was done intentionally because if you grab some DLC for high-level fish and you go to a low-level lake and you have like a big, strong tackle and you're starting to catch small fish, you can always catch and you can always reel the fish in. So what's the point? It's no-brainer to do. You can go and you're starting to abuse the idea of the game. So you can grab this fish, you can grab the money, but you don't need to grab the experience, because what's the experience of grabbing the small fish with a high level and very strong gear? Nothing. So I think it's a good idea to have key player penalized from using high level and strong gear to catch small fish, because it's basically you don't have an experience for this.
Okay, I think. What about? I know that we get a reduction in experience for catching small fish on heavy gear. and vice versa. If we catch big fish on small gear, we also get an experience boost.
Yes.
Does the money change enough in that as well? Like, could we reduce the cost even more for catching a small fish on a big rod to try and sort of push people maybe to use a lighter gear?
Maybe it will be a good idea, but we need to. What we are doing now about money, they are now changing the balance. We are calculating because a lot of people complaining about very high prices of the traveling and all this stuff. So what we are thinking to do, it's only what we are thinking to do. We want to decrease the travel parts of costs and increase the stay parts of costs to let people easily go to locations and grab some fish. What we see in our problems now, because a lot of people from low levels, they don't even know they can stay for a couple of days. So they think they need to go even on first day of fishing, like travel to a lake and catch fish on the first day and go break even. And nobody tells them about it's very easy to do in 3 or 4 days, but not in 1 day. So what we are thinking to is just changing the balance, and maybe we will add some after we do a rebalance. Maybe we will add some more bonus for fish price if you catch it by using like big fish for smaller gear or lighter gear for ultralight or all this stuff. So yeah, maybe yes, but I'm not sure because now we are playing this balance.
Well, once that balance is sorted out, this is, I guess, a suggestion from my point of view that I've had passed to me a few times as well. Is would it be possible to be able to allow people to sell a full keep net during the day once, so that if they filled a net by 12 o'clock in the afternoon, they could sell it and then fish the rest of the day, but not sell it again after that. They would have to then skip to the next day. So essentially they're getting 2 full nets of fish sold to try and help with money situation.
What we're thinking now to do it and how we want to do it in terms of changing the game. So our idea was to two stuff. First is to change licenses for fish licenses from real life terms to game life terms. So you can buy a fish license for game days, not for real live days, and probably it will change here. It will be more simple for guys, so it will be one. And the second stuff is to completely avoid the stuff like you're selling your fish overnight. We want to have a billboards. You have your tasks for fish, like somebody asks you to catch like 4 bluegill or 3 salmon or 2 trouts. So you go on billboards, you grab your task, you go, you complete it, and you're done. So you don't need to wait something, you don't need to move the time on all this stuff. So it's much more basically, and the game will give you like quests to grab some special type of fish, and it will be always different type of fish. So you will have more. You need to know more about which kind of fish you need to find, where to find, and it will be much more interesting for player because it's not only the fish but some small quests like catch the GoPro camera for somebody and give you a huge boost, but it's very hard to find and all this stuff. So we are now thinking how to change the game because the simulation stuff is good, but it's very simple. So like setting the fish just at midnight and time forward, setting the fish time forward, it's much more, it looks very boring for us. So we are trying to create more game mechanics, more simple activity on licenses to simplify licenses and to make more complex and more interesting to play. There's a different sort of task the game give you.
Do you have an idea of when you're looking to have that all done? Of like 6 months, 2 years?
No. Actually, this stuff is not so complicated to do. I like in 2 or 3 months, we'll probably, I think in 2 months you'll have a CBT, and 3 months you'll have some sort of prototype, or even we'll put it in the game, because it's a priority for us to keep the game going and keep it more interesting for players. So now we're almost done the catching some new stuff from river, because now you can catch only fish. So we're almost done catching the additional stuff, like old boots, some junk, some wood logs, and all this stuff. So you can catch some old lures or something like this, and use it after it. So
I just want to make a point. When you do the UK lake, make sure that you put in the lake signs and trolleys, because that's all you get in the lakes around here. just so that you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's fun catching a shopping cart.
Oh yeah. Catching old tires. Yeah.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah. I've been there.
You need a very strong rod for it.
Oh, tell me about it.
Now I do have a question though.
Go on.
May I ask?
Sure.
On the, is there going, and I know this has been asked by a lot of people, is there going to be another way to get Baitcoins other than the competition?
Yeah, because we are thinking about create the quest system and office billboard system, and we are thinking to put some very special quests, high-level quests to grab some special fish, like hybrids or mutants or something like this, and you'll grab some Bitcoins for it. So it will be inserted in the system, like a premium stuff for people who want to spend a lot of time and a lot of effort, and you'll be rewarded by Bitcoins. So because why we're doing it and what's we changing, we need to change the buy system for it, because now it's very simple to grab a lot of Unix, and we don't like the word Unix. So we are thinking to how to create something like more realistic, like hybrids or some mutants or something, some fish which are really rare, like fish with rings. Ring fish, like special fish. And all this stuff will give you some sort of. We already think about the mechanics, how to give you Baitcoins, and we are thinking how to implement it. So probably it will be very special if you already have some event with some sort of fish. So we are thinking how to implement this mechanic and give you a lot of options. Not only catch fish and grab Baitcoins, but you can also put it back, or you can put some special stuff and let other people to get the Baitcoins if they catch the fish you marked. So we are thinking about all these ideas.
One of the things you could do instead of unique is here in the States, we call a giant fish a lunker.
Yeah. I know. I have a lot of conversation with Tony about all this stuff. So yeah,
Yeah, I figured you did.
Yeah, they are thinking about to do it, but it's not possible with current bait system. So fish AI and bait system must be changed, and we are doing it now. And it's quite a lot of work to do it, because basically what we do in beginning, so we can create this system, and it will be very complicated, and nobody know how it works. So, and basically now in competition, some people thinking they have a different stuff from the real game, so they complaining about, oh, in competition it's not working. No, in competition it will be the same weather, but it's some rare kind of weather coming to competition, but always competition weather are in the real game, so nothing changed. But some people actually start to understand how all the system work, and we're starting to think our system is not so complicated as we designed before, so we need more complicated and even more realistic. And now we are doing much more complicated system to create mimic of the real world fishing bites. So, and it's not simple. It's very complex stuff. But I think we can do it in like 4 or 5 months. But basically, yeah, like 5 months with the introduction of bottom fishing. So we try to tie this system up because we need to this stuff of chum and doing the chum distribution and current and all this stuff. It will be also aggregated with new byte system. So it will be very complex stuff. But and we will ask you guys to check it and to give us your feedback. Like I think in 4 months.
I've got 4 small, very last questions, and then we'll be done. I had mentioned to you before about people asking about how to become in the closed beta test. Has there been any more forward motion on that at all?
Closed beta test, actually it's changed to probably to 2 types of closed beta test. Like functional closed beta tests, I mean just checking out what's we break in the game and to be sure we are not breaking the a lot of text. Polovino always help us with it, so he knows the drill. And actually, you guys, some of you guys probably are listening. Thank you very much for helping us to check the game. And another type of closed beta test, I mean, if you want to check something huge, they ask more testers to give us feedback and check all this huge stuff. So,
is there a way for people to sort of apply to be a closed beta tester then? Or?
Yeah, I think we need to create a topic on forums, so all guys who want to apply to the closed beta test will be applied here. Just please remind me to do it tomorrow. I will do a topic on the forum, and you can leave your message to trying to apply to the closed beta test. We're always open to you guys to go closed beta. You know our rules, so we always give you a lot. You just check, level up. We can always give you what you want, and you can check it, test it, and give us your options or your clue about what we need to change and what you like or what you don't like.
Someone's just asked in the game actually. Do you have any ideas when the new fish AI is going to be sort of out live? Is that going to be a few months?
I think in 3-4 months, new fish eye, new bite system will be applied like 3-4 months just before the bottom fishing will be introduced. I think, and also we need new bite system for basically two stuff: the chumps and the big lakes. So the big lakes, as fast as we can have a couple of phases of new byte system. So we will introduce new byte system phase 1. It means more simple stuff. But phase 2 will add more sophisticated behavior of fish. We try to create fish behavior based like if you have a school of non-predator fish going somewhere, so predator fish must follow. So, and if a lot of predator fish come to a school, the school must move to avoid all predators. So we're trying to recreate the mimic of the real world fish school and predators behavior. So if you're trying to see a lot of small fish, it means also the school behavior of fish. So a lot of small fish or one but big fish, or a lot of predators. So it means a lot of this system will try to introduce phase by phase. So for one phase, it means more realistic bites. Second phase, it means more connection between schools and predator fish. Third phase means more realistic connection about the weather and fish, and always like from some more factors like water temps or some another option. So we'll always do it in steps. So first steps you can expect like in 3-4 months, first phase. More phase like in half of the year, I think. But they are thinking to create more functionality like very soon, but Most of them, like bottom fishing, motorboats, and all this stuff, will come in 6-7 months.
Okay. Sunglasses. I know that I've already spoke to you about these. Somebody asked, will we be getting sunglasses at some point?
Good idea. It's very simple to do. Probably yes, because now we have much more members of a team to join us. So we have a huge team, and now we have a manpower to do it. So expect it. Yeah, we will do it.
And I think the last one I have, in fact there's two. Gramps wants to know if he can have his yacht.
I did not ask that.
What?
Gramps wants to know if he can have a yacht in the game.
A yacht?
Brothel one. Yeah, a yacht.
Yacht? What means yacht?
A big boat.
Big boat?
A big boat.
Ah, big boat.
Yeah, he wants a big boat that he can call yacht, a brothel one.
Actually, we have, before we doing a great game about catching the pirates of the big tankers. So we'll have a lot of models of big oil tankers and yachts and a lot of ships. So we can put all this stuff in the game. It's not so hard to do it. What about big boats? Yeah.
I just wanted a place for all the pro hookers to hang out on the lake.
All of the pro hookers. What?
I wanted a place for all of our club members to be able to hang out on the lake.
You mean more people on one lake?
No. He's being sarcastic. He's just really bad at it.
Yes.
I think what we actually want to do is to have more people visually on the lake. So yeah, maybe. But if you have clubs, you can probably do it. We are thinking to make some sort of 3D representation of the club. So I mean the big, huge hall. You can go it. You can see all members of your club or your team. So basically, to do something with the visual stuff, you can just represent of your power, your club, your members. So yeah, it's quite a good question about how to do it. They are still thinking, but it will be doable a bit later. But we definitely want to do it.
And my last question for you, Killer, is so I've asked you this a few times. It's basically when we will be able to say unique again in the chat without it being censored. But adapting that slightly, is there going to be a chance for us to toggle the censorship maybe so that we can have it on or off?
Good idea, actually. I told about Unix to our team, so probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow we will try and fix it, because just a lot of high priority stuff before, but now we have a bit of time. So yeah. I think next update will let you tell unique again in the chat. But about disable the filter. Maybe it's a good idea to do it on PC, but we will definitely not let it to do it on consoles, because it's required by SRP and such stuff. But on PC, yeah, why not? Yeah.
Well, that's my last question. I want to thank you very much for stopping by tonight. Is there any other questions that you want to pick out, or that you've seen that you want to answer, or is there any information that you want to give us?
Just basic information. We are very close to finish the motorboats. We've done a mini game to start the engine. We've done different type of motorboats actually. So we have a lot of stuff to go on motorboats, but it's still be like in two or 3 months to complete, because we need to create the bigger wakes, and bigger wakes now it's very hard to create. So we are out making some tools to create it more realistic. what's want to say? What's the next? So maps will be next. Our big next update will be map, and will be a photo mode for photo shooting the fish. What's we're thinking to do more? Yeah, European stuff. I think we'll finally do a lot of European. And what we're actually doing, we're doing a lot of photogrammetry for lakes in Ukraine, in Germany and France to create some very realistic looking and very mimic of real lakes. So probably you'll like it.
I think if I remember as well that last time I spoke to you, you were talking about that there was going to be a slight graphics change for some of the trees and the weeds.
Yeah. Finally, we done on the map. We done the wind direction, and the map have north, south. So you can basically see not only just like wind is west, but you will see actual direction of the wind, actual direction what's it's going, and wind will affect the kayaks and will affect the line and will affect your float behavior. So we are finally make the wind pushing our physics and game. So it will be our next stuff. Not so big, but it will be really nice. And the graphics, yes, we are changing the. We already done testing for finally live clouds, so clouds will move in, but we are changing some sky and all this stuff, so you finally get nice sunsets, sunrise, moving clouds, and a bit of much more tuned graphics. So I'm working on it because I like to see it more vivid. About trees and all this stuff, it's not so simple because a lot of people are using old PCs, so and these old machines and even consoles were not so not have so many power to represent all new kind of graphics, but they are playing with graphics some sort like new Hunter Call of the Wild, so they're trying to make the game looks like very similar because they like this stuff actually, and it's very close to what I try to achieve about new graphics.
Okay. I think that's everything I haven't seen. Somebody's asked if we're going to get EU lakes first or Lake Fork, but I think that's been answered.
Nope. I think we will have a Lake Fork and New Everglades in the same time, so even a bit more early from EU Lake, because EU Lakes is actually 5 or 7s, and Lake Fork and Everglades and only 2 lakes. So I mean they'll come a bit early, maybe, but we will try it. I think actually they will do it the same date, because we have a couple of teams working on the eel lakes, on bottom fishing, and on big lakes simultaneously. So it will come probably the same date, or Lake Fork and Everglades will come a bit early. I mean, motorboats almost complete. So almost complete. I mean, like 1 or 2 months to complete all this stuff. And bottom fishing is much more work to create a lot of lakes, like 7 lakes, but they're not so small like our game lakes now. So they're actually big, like 1 square kilometer or something like this.
So they're going to be actually bigger than Michigan, or
Michigan is actually like 800 meters by 800 meters, so it's different. But we need to set up all this stuff. So for the new European fish species, we need to create a globe instead of map of the United States for now. We need to change, we need to make alternative paths. What we want to do, actually, we want to let you choose where you can start if you start in the game, in Europe or in America. In America, it means you'll have more spinning and casting kayaks, and in Europe, it means you mostly like to use the feeder rods and setup from the shore, so multiple rods, float fishing, and feeder rods. And if you level up, you're leveling on America or you're leveling in Europe, and after you grab a lot of money, you can start to travel a setup like you guys knowing from the beta, we have a functionality of home states, so we are thinking to create functionality of home states, but not like on continent, home continent. So you can choose Europe or America, and you can fly and change your home continent and explore your continent from here. So we want to let you use two paths, like spinning pass or feeder pass, or maybe a later fly fishing pass. So you can choose how you start, and you can choose what you need to learn. Skills and point distribution for your some sort of your skills and stuff for feeder, spinning, bait casting, float fishing, fly fishing. It's they are thinking about it actually. So they are thinking how to integrate all this stuff in the game, but a bit later. So what we are thinking to do now, it's new bite system and more quests and billboards and more user-friendly stuff like setups, new map, and things will let you have more fun and more fun for high levels too.
Okay, I'm not
I
seeing...
just have one comment. Yeah, I just want to let KillerWhale know I sent you a private message on the new forums. If you could check it out.
Yeah. Let me do it.
Oh, you don't have to do it now. Just sometime.
Oh, there is one last question, and I know it's begging everybody's mind. There's a space in our inventory slot for boots, because we're getting cold feet. Any ideas when we're going to get boots to put on to stop our feet getting wet and cold?
Boots?
Yeah, like Wellingtons or...
It's no space for you in your inventory for boots now.
Has it gone?
Nope, it's vanished because we changed it for kayaks. So we don't find out real how to gameize it for good fun. So yeah, we are thinking about boots from the beginning of the game. If you mean boots, I mean rubber boots. Yes.
Yeah. Rubber boots or waders.
So the whole idea of give you rubber boots, it's go a bit deeper from the shore. So, but I don't see it's very good and fun stuff. So it's just like childish play. So we think about to remove it and give you kayaks, and not only go like 1 meter from the shore, but grab kayaks and go far away. So it means much more interesting for me. So we just feature cut all this stuff with the
Are
boots.
waders something that you would consider?
We can just do it for fun, just as option to give you a different visual look, but nothing more. So we have you can see in our trailer, you have seen another type of boots on player, not rubber boots, but waders, probably. No, not waders. I mean Salomon shoes. So hiking shoes. You can see on trailer, and it's actually my shoes. I photogrammed it.
Is that going to be just something that's customizable on the character screen?
Yeah.
Customization.
Yeah. We'll add you more options, like give it different trousers, different shoes, much more customization for character. But I think it will be after we do more gameplay features. So now we concentrate almost on features which give you more gameplay as a fisherman. So I mean anglers, more option to anglers. I mean more map. Pins on the map, sharing your pins, more different type of fish bites, more